Left me in this mess I'm falling. Never know. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Nemesis Gaming League. We are back here for Season 13, a little throwback on the hype video there for you to start things off for the night. But we have got the good old Season 13 Draft Lottery coming your way. We're going to determine the first round of picks in 4 leagues. Novice is already set, but we're going to be going through Prospect all the way through Titan. I got some lovely fellas up in the booth with me to bring things to you here tonight. Going to start it off with Mr. Chunk Light. Chunk, how are you doing tonight?
Good. Just recovered from being sick, but if I mess up, just know I am nearly better.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear you're on the recovery path. Hopefully we can have a good night here. Hope you feel better as things go on. Glad to have you as always. We also got new to the booth up here for Season 13. We got Rare. Rare, how are you doing tonight?
Same thing as Chunk. I'm getting over a sinus infection.
Oh man.
Other than that, it's working every day and getting ready to get the season started.
Yeah, it's coming up. I guess there's some sort of sickness going around. Speed, don't tell me that you're sick as well. I hope you're doing all right.
I hate to tell you,
Oh
Rocker
man.
Man, but the only thing I'm getting over is this off season. I'm ready to get the season started, and here we are, Rocker Man. I haven't been sick. I'm excited to be back in the booth. Draft lottery. We're gonna see what teams, were sick of their season last year and drew the short end of the stick. But hopefully, it'll lead to a a bright spot to start this season here with this draft lottery tonight.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Ready to get things rolling for season number 13 here, folks, as we got everybody in the booth. Everyone's here. Just to kind of describe the draft lottery, if you guys are new to Nemesis, what we're doing tonight is we're going to be determining the quote unquote lottery picks, which are the top 3 picks in each league. Novice, since they only have 8 teams, there's no draft lottery for them. But prospect through Titan, will be picking the balls out of this year machine here. This is going to be our machine of choice. We are going to basically select one ball. Whoever that pick is going to get the first pick. We'll roll it again, pick another ball. That'll be the second pick. And then we'll do one more time, get the third pick. And then the rest of the picks will fill in order behind that. So we're basically determining the lottery picks, which are the top 3 picks in each league. So yeah, it's gonna be an exciting one. It's gonna be a fun one. It's always fun to see how the balls tumble here. So yeah, I guess we'll kick things off here in the prospect league. And if Crip hopefully has the numbers ready for us for the prospect league, but you guys can see the draft board there and the odds ready to go. You'll see picks 9 through 16 are already set on there. And speed, if we look at all those teams on there, a lot of teams, it's a lot of hopes here to try to get a top pick.
Yeah, I know. I think if re-looking at this, yeah, there's only one double team on there, which is the Banshees. Everyone else, looking having one shot each. Obviously, odds are a little different, but you see the odds down there at the bottom. But yeah, Banshees sitting there with total combined odds of 31% to get a top 3 pick. And they had a decent season last year. Started off hot, kind of had a little bit of a drought, and then just played 50-50 towards the end. But Banshees, they're definitely looking to have that one.
Yeah, definitely so. And every single pick on this board here has been traded except for that Hypernova pick down there. So we're gonna have to see. They're the only ones that have stayed in place here for the draft lottery. So without any further ado, let's get things going here. Let's figure out who is gonna take the number 1 overall pick. We'll roll it on up. Oh boy. And the number 1 overall pick, we have got a 57 on the board, which is gonna go to Faded for the first overall pick in the prospect league there. So Chunk taking a big pull down there to get 57 off the board.
Yeah, 100% faded. I believe they do have 2 players on the roster right now with Gallo and Street, so it would be interesting to see what they make with this first pick. As with the first pick, you really want to pick a player that can really lead your team.
Yeah, no, a lot of great players and dissolved and that or faded and that deviation org. They have a lot of first round picks there, and they're definitely going to be happy to have that one. As you know, we'll see them in the Challenger League draft as well and the Rival League draft. I mean, they've kind of been stacking up those picks, and good on Street Soul. They're going to get the number 1 overall in prospect this season.
Yeah, I was talking to Street Soul before this. Obviously, he didn't tell me who they were looking at getting. I was trying to get a little more information. But Street Soul definitely excited with that one. I was, trying to, pick his brain to see if he was willing to, possibly get up that potential 4th overall pick before tonight, obviously. And now I know there's no way he's definitely giving up that number 1 overall pick. I know he's got someone in mind, that apparently pairs pretty well with Gala, who's their Chally drop down player. So they're definitely going to be going out and getting their player that they want for sure.
Yeah, no, it's always good to have that number one pick. You know that nobody can take the player that you want, so they're definitely going to be happy to grab that one. So congrats to Faded, and let's keep things rolling, and let's see who is going to be the second overall pick in prospect. All right. Next up, we have got a 44 on the board, which is going to go to Origin via Faded there. Origin getting that second overall pick, which I will happily take that. Definitely rigged somehow, some way, but I'll happily take that one and set us up big with that roster there from last season. Only have Sweeney returning from last season's roster, and that top pick via trade from Faded is gonna be pretty nice, I will say. So yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I think
But
it
yeah,
definitely opens up a lot of things for Origin. Having played them multiple times last season, being in their own division, Sweeney's a heck of a player, and I'm sure that you're probably gonna pick who's gonna match well with him to try and fit a team around Sweeney. And whatever you do with it, it's probably gonna be dangerous.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. He was talking to me about some people that he was looking for, so we'll see how it works out. We do also have that 14 pick as well, so I got some options to try to expand out the roster. So we will definitely take it. And a quick shout out as we continue on. Shout out to Jarhead coming back for 37 months with the resub, much appreciated. And he's trying to get some luck rolling for his Banshees here. As we'll keep things moving. We'll move on to the third and the final pick here for the draft lottery. Whoever is the next one here is going to be that third pick, and then we'll kind of fill everyone in following here. So let's see what a third pick is going to be. All right, we got a good one here. Going down, down, down. We have 72 on the board there. It's going to Velocity, who with only 5.3% odds there, Chunk, to get a top three pick, and they pull off an absolute steal right there.
Yeah, 100%. Velocity had a really good season last season. They went to the semis. I don't think they're returning any players, if I recall. I know Jax moved up.
They're empty now.
Yeah, Jax moved up, and KSU went back to the draft. So it'll be good for them to really pick a player to start to build around. But like I said, they had a lot of success last season, and now they get a high pick as well to have success going on to this season.
Yeah, and that's a pick trade coming from the Bandits there. They're able to get into this lottery. So all these trades have kind of moved things around their speed. And now you have Velocity, runners up last season, made all the way to the finals, and they're going to have a top pick here to start things off for season 13.
Yeah, that's definitely huge for Jax there. He came in as GM a couple seasons ago, had, pretty rough go around in the org, and then he definitely made, a name of himself last season. And he had some great first round picks last year. He got a couple of the number one overalls last year with his teams. And now he's getting more draft lottery this year, which when we can see what he does with that when he gets those. So I'm definitely scared to see with Velocity having pick number 3 and then looking at it again, they're gonna fall back in. I don't know if that's quite right, but fall back in again and have pick 6 is what it showed, but that doesn't quite sound right.
Yeah, we'll get that one corrected over there. But yeah, a lot of movements, and it looks like some of the big losers on here are gonna be is probably the biggest loser might be the Banshees there, Rare, who had some pretty good odds, all things considered, nearly 30% odds, but they're gonna end up with their first pick being number 4 overall.
Yeah, not the spins we were really hoping for today, but honestly, I trust Jarhead. I know Jarhead, he can build a great roster. He did so last season when it came down to novice. He just got to figure it out when it comes to the prospect team. I know I said some things last season about our team. We I felt like we had the talent. We didn't really succeed on it, but I mean, whatever Jarhead picks and goes with, I mean, I think everybody can kind of see some success when it comes to his drafting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see because, yeah, like you mentioned, with you being on that roster, the roster is currently full, all four people on there, and Banshees have picks number 4 and 6. So you have to wonder, will all those re-signs come through, or will Jarhead use those, those top 6 picks as some trade bait there? But you guys can see how the rest of the order is falling on there. See Banshees probably the biggest loser there, and then big winner of the day has gotta be Velocity, moving up at least 3 picks there into that top 3. So, congratulations to them on taking that. Anything else anyone wants to add about this draft order before we move on to the Challenger League? All right. Well, then we'll keep things rolling here. We're gonna move just on to the Challenger League, which is another interesting league to say the least. Here, a lot of not as many pick trades here in the top couple picks here, but what we'll see in just a moment is that Dissolved has 3 picks here speed in the draft lottery via some trades there, some last minute trades. Dissolve getting 1, 2, and 8. Last minute change up on the number 1 overall pick, but they have 3 lottery picks here in this draft.
Yeah, they do. And I don't know. We already saw him get one here tonight. So the fact that now he now has 3 teams in the running, it's scary. I know one of his teams only has a 1.33 chance. He's got one ball to be picked, and it's number 75. But if there's a man that I know that's going to be able to pull it off and have his number called, it's going to be Street Soul. And if that gets pulled within the first 2 picks, it's definitely going to be scary. And I'm gonna give my bishops away. They can have whatever pick they end up getting because Street's gonna just roll away with all 3 of them.
Yeah, Chunk, what are you looking forward to most here as we head into the Challenger League coming up right now?
I'd really just like to see how he can build around potentially a high chance of 2 picks, as he already has 2 players on the roster. So he has really good, like we talked about in prospect, he has good trade capital if he wants as well. But I think he will use one of these top 2 picks or both just to really set his team up. But he has a chance for all 3, which is insane.
Yeah, that would be crazy if somehow, some way, Street Soul and the Deviation Org is able to pull it off. But let's get things rolling. Let's figure out who is going to be the number 1 overall pick in the Challenger League.
Bishops. Come on, Rocker Man. Bishops.
All right, and the number 1 overall pick is going to go to the number 1 overall ball right there, Dissolved, with that trade via Flame. Dissolved is going to take that top spot there with the number 1 overall pick.
It's rigged already, Rocker Man.
Hey, I don't choose the balls. Well, actually, I do, but that's another. Maybe I do, but yeah, Rare Dissolve gonna take home this number 1 overall pick there. Best odds to get a top lottery pick there, and they're gonna lock it down.
It's gonna be something. They still got 2 more chances to try and get that 2 and 3, and Lord help us if they get another one of those top 3 picks, because it's gonna be mayhem for Challenger.
Yeah, and they've got 2 people on their roster with Seawall and Red Jr. Sticking around, so we'll see what they can do. Like we mentioned, their speed, that's something that GMs can definitely use as trade capital. Going on, even if they can fill up their roster, even if you do get top 3 picks or whatever have you, you can still use those picks to trade and try to secure yourself in other leagues or for the future.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And looking at it, um, he really would only need one out of those 3 picks. You can go get your, top Sal because you're sitting with, a couple middle of the pack guys there. So you can go up the ladder with one of them, and then you really only need, a late second round pick to get that last guy. So essentially here, with his 2-man roster that he has, he needs one of them, and then he's got 2 of them sitting there for trade bait. So the higher draft capital he can get, he could even, if say he does get 1, 2, and 3, he can sell 1 and 2 really, really high and still get someone really good at pick 3, and you just made bank for the next few seasons, or even this season if you really need something.
Yeah, that's for sure. Set himself up for success here for the current season. We'll see if it lends off to the future here. But let's keep things rolling. Let's figure out who's going to pick right behind Dissolve. We'll see if it's Dissolved again.
Bishops.
All right. And the number is coming through. It is going to be number 20 here, which is also going to be Dissolved again, this time from via the papayas there. So no reroll there, but Dissolved kind of as it was set, as the odds might dictate there. Gonna get those top 2 picks. Chunk set themselves up really good here.
There's a chance for a sweep, not very likely, but just like we've been talking about, the draft capital is definitely insane. He has total control over what he wants to do with this team here in Chally, and like Rare said, it is going to be scary.
Yeah, it is, and yeah, we are assuming that they are going to re-sign both of those players. I don't know if both the decisions have gone in for those 2 yet, but if they don't re-sign one of those 2 players there, I have definitely some great options there at the top of the Challenger League. So some big success there for those teams, and now we're going to see what's going to happen next. I know me and Speed here, Bishops and Ascension at 3-4 there. Looking
Keep it rolling with 1, 2, 3. That's 3's next.
Speed wants number 3 next, but I don't know if he's gonna get it. We'll have to find out here. But let's go ahead and roll. Let's see who is gonna be number 3.
75.
Don't you even dare say that, Rocker
God
Man
help
and
us.
Chung. His reaction is mellow.
Boy. Oh boy. We've got number 67 off the board. That is going to go to Orbit, taking their pick down there. So not quite the Dissolved sweep, but Orbit is going to sneak up there, hopping over Bishops and Ascension
I'll
to
take
get
4th.
to get a top 3 pick there. So yeah, we're Orbit going to be the big winners here on this one.
Well, DJD got his wish. I saw him in chat. He said he was gonna freak out. DJD, you don't gotta freak out. I mean, Orbit didn't get first, but you got 3rd. You hopped over me and Rockerman, so you can have a little party.
There you go. He's got something going there, and yeah, that orbit roster there. It is weird to see Critter, the now GM of that org there, so a little bit different. DJD still kind of involved in that org, but Critter kind of taking over. He's going to be the one there on that roster chunk. And we're gonna have to see what Critter can build now with a 3rd overall pick there to kind of pair himself up with hopefully a good teammate.
Yeah, 100%. It's good to know that you as a GM can build your team almost how you want it with that number 3 pick. So the more he can get a strong team for his own league, the more I think he can focus on helping these other teams in his org draft better teams as well. So I think this brings a lot of pressure off Critter's back.
Yeah, I would say so. And just looking at this draft board now that we kind of see this how the first round is gonna look there. I mean, I'm noticing 3 Dissolved, 3 Ascension, 2 Snowstorm, 2 Orbit right there. So a lot of teams with a lot of picks out there in the Challenger first round. I'm sure as the trade window opens, things are gonna kind of get a little bit different. I'm sure some moves are going to be made for some of those picks, but at the moment, there a lot of teams with a lot of high round picks, a lot of potential for those ones. So, congratulations to Dissolve taking home 2 lottery picks, and Orbit also for jumping up on that one. And we'll keep the ball rolling into the Rival League, which is another interesting one here. A couple pick trades out here in the Rival League there. Looks like Gravelords, Kings, and Chimeras are the only ones that stayed put, but the rest of the picks kind of passed around a little bit there as we look at the current first round order there, and then the lottery odds as well. Rare, what are you thinking here as you take a look at this rival league, the odds, and how things are looking to start things off?
I mean, when you're looking at this, you got Pineapples up there twice. They just had honestly a good season. They didn't win the whole thing, but they had a great season. That's dangerous enough as it is with Shadow. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and I think if they get one of those top 3 picks, it's looking scary when it comes down to it. Rival could be looking at another Pineapple season where they start out dominant and maybe keep it going, unlike last season.
Yeah, no, it looks like they have Flip 1010 re-signed over to that roster there, so could have a good base if they are able to pull off a top 3 pick there. And then the Gravelords and the Kings, not the best season there, but I know Speed, you for the Kings here, trying to pull something back. It looks like you have 2 people on roster right now, hoping to get a top lottery pick here.
I am. I'm hoping to get a top lottery pick. My top lottery player I did, unfortunately, when the season wasn't going too well, traded him away. Try to gain some draft capital. And so I'm looking to get me my top rival player yet again. And bring it home and get a couple more wins this season in the rival league.
Yeah, well, hopefully for your sake and for the sake of the other teams here in the lottery, hopefully they can turn things around from last season. But let's go ahead, let's roll it out here. Let's see who's going to pick number 1 overall in Rival League.
You owe me one.
Ooh. All right, coming through. The debt has been paid. There's 17
There
off
it
the
is.
board for the Kings. There.
It's paid, baby. It's paid. We're getting paid today, everyone.
So Speed jumps up with those even odds there, jumps up from 2 to number 1 there. So obviously excited. I know you probably don't want to go too in depth about what you're thinking for next season, Speed, but number 1 overall pick will most certainly help you try to turn this roster around for season 13.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm pretty sure I know exactly who I'm gonna go with. So that's pretty exciting. If I had dropped any further and kind of what happened in Chally, I don't know if I necessarily would have been able to get the player that I'm looking at. So I'm definitely not going to be moving from this for all you GMs. I'm going to just keep it. So don't even offer me anything. I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to roll with it, and I'm going to go get the guy that I want.
Hey, there you go. That's always nice. That's always nice when you can just go out there. You don't have to worry about anyone else, no one else in front of you. You just go ahead and select the person that you want there. So congratulations to the Kings taking that number 1 overall pick, and we'll keep things rolling on here, and we'll see who's going to come through as the 2nd overall pick in the rival league. All right, coming through again, we've got a 30, which is also the Kings here. So we're gonna have our first reroll
Double
of the
paid.
night there. Double paid.
I get
Not
first
quite,
and second. That's how that works now.
Yeah, you wish, right? So we're gonna have our first reroll of the night since the Kings already got selected. They're off the board, so we're gonna reroll and see if we can find another team. But first reroll of the night.
No, it's okay. We'll just skip Mafioso's pick. We'll just take Mafioso. So out.
All right.
Sorry, Sans.
His Speed is using up all his luck. We got 25 off the board. Also the Kings. So another reroll coming through. So unfortunate for the Kings, but
I get first, second, and third.
Yeah, right. All right, let's try this. Let's try this one again. And you guys are not gonna believe this, but we got 32 off the board. Also the Kings.
All right, dude.
What is going on here, Speed?
I get first, second, third, and fourth, guys. This is
Yeah,
great. I got a whole
not
team
quite.
right there.
Not quite, but getting the Kings that many times in a row is kind of crazy. We've had a lot of rerolls in the past, but all the Kings. What is going to happen here? Can we find the rest of the Kings balls here at the bottom? Let's find out.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, we've got a 30 off the board.
No
it's the
shot,
Kings.
dude.
It's the Kings again. We're gonna have another.
Let's go, baby.
Another reroll here off the
I got
board.
1 through 5 right. 1 through 4 right now. 1 through 5.
1 through
yeah?
5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Let me. We'll try again. Let's see. What we can do.
So that's
At what
Gravelords
point
don't
do
get
we
it
just
for-
call it, guys?
Gravelords don't get their pick no more. Pineapples, Distortion, Chimeras. Oh, sorry, Mealy.
All right, we got something on the board. It's a 32 off the board. It's the Kings
Okay, at
again.
this point, man,
Someone needs to get a
Speed's
check
using
on
black
that.
magic or
Hold on.
something,
I'm
man.
gonna step away for a minute, Rocker Man, and hopefully you
All
guys
right, all
can
right.
draw something other than the king.
Yeah. We'll let him step
I'll give you
away.
guys some luck here. Hold on.
We'll try it. We'll try it again here. And coming back, can we see it
Another shot.
again? We got 63 off the board.
Oh, thankfully.
Not quite gonna be the Kings there, but 63. That is gonna go to the Chimeras. So unfortunately for Speed, it's a 63 off the board. So
A
the
63.
Chimeras,
Okay.
yeah, Chimeras. You broke the curse there, Speed. We appreciate you
All right.
stepping away.
And I
Let
helped
the
Mealy
Chimeras
out.
get
Let's go.
yeah. Let the Chimeras get their light here. You know, we said enough about the Kings on that one, so they're gonna
What was
take
that,
it
6
there.
in a row, guys, or 5? Because whoo.
I think that was 5 in a row that
5 in a row.
rolled on the on the Kings there, and the Chimeras are gonna finally break through there and get that one and chunk the Chimeras. Another team here that didn't quite have the season they were looking for. This is their original pick here, trying to rebuild, coming for season 13.
Yeah, I do know they have Kiwi on that team already, so they have one player. He's kind of lower in MMR, so you do want to get probably. I assume most people want to get the highest MMR on their roster with their top 2 pick, as he has here. So I'm looking for him to pick up someone he really wants to lead his team, and he's got almost any option as long as Speed doesn't snipe him.
Oh.
That's true. That's true. We'll have to see though. We'll have to see. I mean, Speed already knows his guy, so he's not budging. He's not moving.
No,
So
I don't think I'm budging.
all right, well, hey, fair enough there. So the Chimera is gonna go at number 2 overall. So we'll keep things rolling. We'll see if we get some more rerolls here. But we got the last lottery pick here. We'll find out who's picking number 3, and then we'll fill in the rest of the order from there. So right now, the Gravelords and the Pineapples with their high odds, trying to be the ones to hold on to that top 3 pick. The Chimeras with just about 11% odds making that run. So we'll see who is going to get the final lottery pick for the rival league. Right. Coming through, it's going to be a 52 off the board, which is going to be Distortion. With all of their picks, they are going to jump up and move on into the lottery position there. So Distortion takes that last spot and gonna jump up just technically one spot there, but Rare in this one, so far for Street Soul, that's 3 drafts and he has gotten 4 lottery picks.
That's just ridiculous. We need to nerf Street Soul or something. Something's got to happen because there's no way he's getting one in every single league at this point. Like this is just
How
bonkers.
bad was his teams? No, I'm just kidding.
And all of these were traded for too, so that's the crazy part about it. So he made the right moves, and it's all worked out for him to move on up and get some quality picks as Kings, Chimeras, Distortion, the lottery picks there. The rest of the picks gonna fill on in behind it. So. Yeah, it looks like I would say Chimeras, maybe Distortion, the big winners here. What do you make of things, Chunk, here as we take a look at the first round draft order now that the lottery is complete?
I think Chimera's got a really good pick here for only having a 10% chance odds. And I think that will really help them change their year around from their subpar-ish year last year. Or season, not year.
Speed, what are you making out of this top lottery picks here?
I mean, if I know anything about Melee and Street Soul and myself is, they're gonna make moves that are really gonna benefit them. So I think us 3 getting those lottery picks, you're not gonna see like sometimes we see those, oh, why did they do that type of thing, or someone who doesn't really need a lottery pick and they don't get rid of it. All three of us kind of need it in this league. So I think you're definitely going to see some big power moves come out of the three of us. But just looking around the whole first the first round there, what really scares me on top of that also is the pineapples. You got Flip 1010, who's been a staple. He's a great rival player, and he's got pick 5 and 6 to find him two teammates, which we know is very dangerous. Flip 1010 knows a lot of people. He knows exactly who he wants to play with, and for the most part, he's going to be able to go and get them.
Yeah, no, the back-to-back picks is always nice as well. You can use that time to really decide who you want, and after those first four picks are over, you can really think it over and make your next two selections, to go along with Flip to really try to build out that roster. So I know Shadow and company are definitely excited about that one. Rare, anything you want to add about this first round before we move on to the Titan League?
Just basically retouching on what Speed said. The Pineapples having back-to-backs with Flip is gonna probably change the course of this entire rival season. Them having those two back-to-back picks, you get Flip. Flip has proven himself over and over and over again that he is one of, if not the top player in rival. And you get him two players that he wants to be with, it could cause a lot of chaos for rival on the season.
Yeah, and MVP of the rival league last season, Flip 1010 there, in case you missed the awards there, posted on our social media platforms over the past week, and then also posted in the Discord. So congratulations to him and the rest of the winners. But yeah, taking an MVP there, and you're going to have two picks to build around him. It's going to be very exciting for that Fruit Ninjas org to see what they can do to try to overcome things for the upcoming season. So congratulations to all the rest of the teams, especially the top three. But we got one more league to close things out here. We're going to be moving on to the Titan League, which is a little bit different than the rest of the leagues here that we normally see. Obviously, Prospect, Challenger, and Rival all returning 16 teams. But for the Titan League, we got 12 teams this season. So the odds look just a little bit different here. You'll see that Pinnacle and Nebula, the two teams that missed the playoffs there with the best odds. And then we also have, exciting to have here, is 4 expansion teams coming back here. Gravity, Reapers, Vanguard, and Grandmasters all with the same odds. But chunk here. Good to see these teams coming back in Titan League and expanding the league to 12 teams.
Yeah, 100%. It's always great, better to have more competition, especially at the highest league we have here at Nemesis, and I think it will be very interesting to see how this will shake out with 12 teams instead of 8. Makes everything a lot harder to compete and get the new-ish playoff slash play-ins. I don't know how it works. If I look at the thing right now, top 10 out of 12 make playoffs or play-ins, so I don't know how that will work, but it's going to be a very competitive league nonetheless.
Yeah, there is going to be play-ins coming back for the Titan League, and yeah, it is going to expand to 10 teams. So kind of like the other leagues, they will also have 10 teams in the play-ins. So it should be a pretty competitive season, trying to have teams make their way out of the play-ins into the playoffs there. If you're top 6, just like the rest of the leagues, but. Yeah, we're going to have to see here as we are going to roll things on here. We're going to figure out who is going
I'll
to get
explain in a second.
that number 1 overall pick here
The draft
in
lottery.
the Titan League.
Yeah, I'm on stream.
And the first overall pick, it is going to be a 44 off the board there. Going to be Gravity jumping up there to steal the number 1 overall pick.
Good old Gravity coming back this season, and Jack is he's excited about that. I know he wanted Gravity back really bad. He got to keep Deco, who had bumped up from Rival last season, so he was excited to have Gravity come back, get that, and now he gets the number 1 overall pick, and he gets to keep Deco on top of that. He's definitely ecstatic.
Yeah, no, gotta be excited there to get that overall pick, and yeah, we'll have to see who he is going to end up pairing Deco with, as they are going to move up. Only 13% odds to get that number 1 overall pick, but they do end up sliding in there and gonna take a top three. So definitely an exciting moment there for Gravity. Like you mentioned, good to see those kind of teams back here. Teams that we've seen in Nemesis in the past. Shrunk a little bit in the Titan League, but now I'm bringing them back, and we're gonna see Gravity. Projected to pick first off the board here if they're going to stick with it, which I'm sure they will in the Titan League with a pretty, with only one person on the roster. So we'll see what they can make of it for sure. So congratulations to them, and we'll keep things rolling. We'll move on to figure out who's going to pick right behind Gravity here at the second overall spot. And we're coming through. We've got a 40 on the board, and that is also going to be Gravity. So we're going to have another reroll here in the Titan League.
Jax, you may have to leave chat if this happens again.
All right, and we have got a 43 off the board. Also,
Jax,
Gravity.
you gotta go.
Jax, you got to leave the chat, buddy. It works. Trust me.
The only way to break the curse here.
Yeah. Is right.
Holy mama. We have got 74 off
Yeah,
the
baby.
board there. The Grand Masters with an absolute jump right there from the bottom to the second to the top right there. So Grand Masters and Speed
My
gonna make
luck
a
didn't
big
run out,
jump.
baby. It did not run out.
There you go, Speed. You're gonna take that one out. Empty roster, but now gonna have the second overall pick to make a move for pretty much anyone you want here.
Yeah, I hadn't thought too much about it just because I know this was all up in the air on the picks. So it's gonna be a little difficult. I'm gonna have to start reaching out to some people, and then try to build a game plan with said person that I kind of agree upon and kind of go from there. But I'm excited to have a Titan team back. I've always liked having Titan teams. It's fun to watch. It keeps me personally more involved in the Titan League all around when you have a team. I didn't have that the last couple of seasons, so I'm excited to have that back.
Yeah, it's gonna be good there. To have the Grandmasters back, obviously a staple of Nemesis, been here and there throughout Nemesis throughout the seasons. I believe they were one of the very first expansion orgs when we went to Titan. Way back in the day, back in season 2, they were one of the teams that really popped off and kind of came on the scene as a great team. So we'll see if they can bring it back. Obviously, Gravity, one of those teams that always had that historical prowess, especially in the early seasons of Nemesis. So they've got picks number 1 and 2, trying to return to their former glory. And we've got one more lottery pick to go here. And we're going to see who is going to be in the third and final lottery spot here for the Titan League. Right. Coming through here, it is going to be a 59 off the board, which is going to go to Vanguard. So Vanguard also making a big jump up there into the top 3. So another big selection there for Vanguard. Gonna push them in the top 3 there, Chunk, with their roster.
Yeah, I know. I know how important it is for Vanguard to get this pick here because they only have one player on their roster right now, and it is pretty low sal for Titan League. So it will be important to find one of these really high MMR players to really change how they build their team here.
Yeah, and they do have one person you mentioned, Slotha, 1761, so kind of in the lower sub range there. If they do decide to re-sign him, it will use up a third round pick. And then Gravity with Deco using up that second round pick because he's a higher half of the MMR. So those expansion teams that got their re-signs, if it's a higher player in MMR, the top half, they use a second round pick. And if they're bottom half, they use a third round pick. So if they keep Sloth, they can use a third round pick, but they will get a top 3 lottery pick there, moving up into that top 3. So Rare, I'm going to throw it to you. What do you make of this draft lottery, this first round? What do you think of winners and losers here as now we kind of see how the Titan League first round is looking?
I think the losers definitely got to be Jarhead. and that graveyard shift org. Um, Going back to every other draft, you had two chances in prospect. You didn't get one, two, or three in that. Going to challenger, you had one chance, didn't get it. You go to rival, you had one chance, you didn't get it. You had a chance here and missed out by 2 numbers. And I know it hurts. It's gotta hurt, Jarhead. He was close. He had multiple chances, didn't get it. I'd definitely say he's the biggest loser. And the biggest winner's got to be Gravity. It's got to be Jax. Um, you finally get your Titan team back that you've wanted for a while now, after having to deal with Acceleration up until last season, who really was just a bottom novice team that just filled the teams. And you bring your Titan team back, and first year you're starting off hot with a top 3 pick. It's definitely going to be Jax's game to play here in Titan this season.
It's definitely gonna have a shot. Speed, what do you make of Titan League winners and losers here?
Honestly, I think a loser really might be you, Rocker Man, here in Titan League. You were you were projected. If we didn't do the expansion teams, you're getting that first overall pick. You're locked in. You got Cynical and Lush, and obviously we know what those two can do together. But now they're in the Titan League. They're kind of low MMR. They're not kind of low. They are low MMR for Titan. Um, and you missed out on being able to go and get yourself a Kratos, a Poofy, Logan, someone on that caliber that's really high end, to go with those two really solid mechanical players. And now you're dropped down all the way to fourth. So at least you have a two-headed monster still on your team, regardless if they're low sell. We know they're going to be fine in Titan. You just really were hoping to get that star-studded player. So I think you're definitely the big loser here.
Yeah, unfortunately, not the best showing here in Titan for us for our luck's sake. But yeah, it was still a fourth pick there. So we'll see what we can work out of it. Chunk, what do you make of the Titan League? How things stand here?
Yeah, you did indeed have the highest chance with Pinnacle, and you will not find a player here, but still, you will have that fourth pick, which will go well. I think it will be enough to turn the tides and turn the team around, but it was pretty like spread out with odds, so any pick could have gone anywhere. So I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The odds were pretty spread around there in the Titan League with the expansion teams coming through, getting their chances. So, and all the expansion teams were the ones that are going to get those lottery picks there. Gravity, Grandmasters, Vanguard, all coming back, all going to have a top 3 pick in that first round there. So, yeah, big congratulations to them. It is good to see some expansion orgs back in the Titan League. So that is most definitely exciting there as that one comes through. But yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up here. Anyone have any final thoughts before we head things out?
I do have a quick question, Rockerman. If possibly we could get that explained here on
Mhm.
on stream. Is I know we did the draft lottery for Titan here, but how does it work for those expansion teams in the second round, third round, fourth round? If you want to get that explained real quick.
Yeah, so for the second through the fourth round, the draft order on there is as listed. Um, prior to the draft lottery, the 4 expansion teams were randomized and put in a random order, and that's kind of how they were listed when you saw them on the draft board with Gravity Reapers, Vanguard Grandmasters. That's how they were listed on the board there. And then as you go into the second and third round, the order reverses. So Grandmasters were the lowest expansion team in the first round here, technically, by the odds. And then in the second round, they're technically the highest expansion team. So they'll be picking at 15, Vanguard 16, Reaper 17, 18 for Gravity. So they kind of reverse as you go into round 2. And it just kind of repeats that way through the remaining rounds there. So you'll see Pinnacle and Nebula pick 1, 2 in all the rest of the rounds, and then the expansion teams follow below that, and then the rest of the teams that were in Titan last season fall below that. So that's how the expansion order was determined for the Titan League. And obviously the lottery has spiced things up. Lottery for everyone, just a reminder, only for that first round, only for those top couple picks. The rest of the rounds will be set based on last season's order, except for Titan League, which we just explained. So yeah, but other than that, I think that's pretty much it, everyone. We do appreciate everyone tuning in here. Again, shout out to Jarhead with the resub, and shout out to all the GMs who secured some lottery picks. We appreciate you guys tuning in for the draft lottery to see who got those lottery picks. But coming up next, we have re-signing decisions closing on Sunday night. So make sure you guys get those re-signing decisions in. The sooner we get them in, the sooner we get the trading windows open. So make sure you guys, if you're a GM, post your re-signing decisions. If you're a player that got re-signed, make sure you put a check mark on that re-sign decision so you can be re-signed. This is the only time you should react with anything in transactions with regard to a check. But you got to put that check mark if you want to re-sign. So go make sure you do that. And GMs, make sure you get all of your re-signing decisions posted so we can get that ball rolling. And then coming up next, the next time you guys will see us is the 17th. So next Friday night, we're going to kick things off. It's going to come around quick. I know the tryouts are bound to be happening this weekend and coming up in the next week, but we have the novice and prospect draft 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday, and then challenger, rival, and Titan on Saturday night, the 18th there of October. So we hope to see you guys all there. We appreciate everyone tuning in, but that is all for tonight. So thank you guys very much for watching, and we will talk to you guys later.
They screaming, this is my moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but time my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now.